what's the problem with Jesuits, right? And I could have done this entire study on that, but I'm not going to. That's for another time and another place. This, by the way, there are so many different paths I could have taken and things we could talk about. So some things I'm just touching on, and other things I'll go into more depth on. Just it was completely as I was being led. So hopefully it flows together nicely for us. But it was said of the Jesuits, and this was a quote that I had found: "It must be remembered that neither Nazism in Germany, fascism in Italy, Rexism in Belgium, led by de Grelle, the Catholic's favorite disciple, Petain's movement in France, Franco's movement in Spain, would have been possible without the support and active collaboration of the Jesuits. Those who have retained any impression of Hitler's Mein Kampf will also have a strong impression of how much he had learned from Jesuitism and how highly he valued its organization and its teachings. There are few things that he has expressed more directly. It was thought that the members of the order followed the Pope blindly, and that the order followed a moral theology which justified both lying — we just saw a prime example of that — of lying and deceit, as long as the ends were good. And were given, for that reason, they were given the motto, the end justifies the means. Y'all heard that before? That came from the Jesuits. Similar ideas about the Jesuits were also common in Norway in the 20th century. So basically, the Jesuits were a militant branch of Catholicism. And what I didn't know about them is that for a long time, like a long time, they were banned. They were denounced from the Pope. They were not allowed in countries. They would kick out the Jesuits, literally. They would have to flee and go into exile. There was one of the popes who was like, hey, you need to repent from what you've been doing, and who even knows the extent of it, and turn away from it. Until then, you're exiled. He exiled the Jesuits. Well, something happened. They were, like I read, they're hard workers, if nothing else. They kept pushing. They kept pushing their way into different places and lying, all right, like Ben Ezra, to get notoriety. And they wound up coming back and had a big comeback, started opening colleges, universities all over the place, funding them. Yeah, it's crazy. The Jesuit story is crazy. But again, the end justifies the means. That comes from the Jesuits.